Homer's Odyssey. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into an epic tale, Homer's Odyssey. It's a story of perseverance, ingenuity, and an unwavering spirit in the face of unimaginable adversity. More than just a grand adventure, the Odyssey is a profound meditation on the human spirit, a testament to what we can endure and overcome. Let's explore what timeless lessons Odysseus's Odyssey holds for us. Our story begins after the Trojan War, a conflict that had raged for 10 long years. Odysseus, king of Ithaca, distinguished himself with his cunning, notably devising the Trojan horse. One would expect a hero to be welcomed home, but fate, or the gods' wrath, had other plans. His journey home, which should have taken weeks, stretches into a harrowing decade. This proves that sometimes the hardest battles are fought, not on the battlefield, but on the journey back to ourselves. The real Odyssey begins with peril from the start. They encounter the Cicones, where an initial victory turns into defeat due to greed. This early setback teaches us that even after achievement, humility and discipline are essential. Complacency can be our greatest enemy. Next, on the island of the Lotus Eaters, a sweet fruit makes Odysseus's men forget their homes and purpose. Odysseus, realizing the danger, forcibly drags his men back to the ships, saving them from a life devoid of purpose. This powerfully reminds us to resist temptations that lull us into complacency, to remember our goals and dreams, and to pull ourselves back from apathy. Then comes one of the most famous encounters, the Cyclops Polyphemus. Trapped in the giant's cave, Odysseus must rely on his mind. He intoxicates the Cyclops and, with his men, blinds him with a stake. As they escape, Odysseus, in a moment of pride, reveals his name, a decision with devastating consequences. This incident is a masterclass in problem-solving. It teaches us that when faced with overwhelming odds, intelligence often trumps strength, but it also warns against hubris. Celebrate successes, but remain humble. Their journey continues to throw obstacles in their path. They visit Aeolus, god of winds, who gives Odysseus a bag of unfavorable winds. Odysseus's men, out of curiosity, open it, unleashing a storm that blows them back. This underscores the importance of trust and discipline within a team. Impatience or distrust can unravel all progress. Sometimes the biggest challenges come from within our own ranks. They next encounter the Laestrygonians, giant cannibals who destroy all but one of Odysseus's ships. This is a brutal reminder of life's unpredictability. When disaster strikes and everything is lost, what remains, as Odysseus demonstrates? It's the indomitable human spirit, the will to survive, and an unwavering commitment to purpose. Odysseus then arrives on Circe's island, where she turns some of his men into pigs. Odysseus, aided by Hermes, overcomes her magic, compels her to restore his men, and gains crucial advice for his journey, including foretelling his visit to the underworld. This episode shows the seductive power of distraction and how easily we can be led astray. But it also highlights that even against powerful enchantments, clarity of purpose and insight can lead to triumph, and the importance of listening to wise counsel. Following Circe's advice, Odysseus descends into the underworld, a terrifying journey. He consults the prophet Tiresias, who reveals future difficulties, especially Poseidon's wrath. He also sees his mother, who died of grief, and fallen heroes. This descent is a metaphor for confronting fears, facing our past, and acknowledging sacrifices. To move forward, we must often look back, mourn, and gain wisdom from others. Armed with knowledge, Odysseus and his crew brave the sirens, whose songs lure sailors to their deaths. Odysseus has his men plug their ears with wax and ties himself to the mast, allowing him to hear without falling victim. This is an allegory for resisting temptation and staying focused. Amidst seductive distractions, how often are we pulled off course by fleeting pleasures? Odysseus teaches us to acknowledge temptation, but put safeguards in place. They then navigate between the monstrous Scylla, a six-headed beast, and the deadly whirlpool Charybdis. This impossible choice forces Odysseus to sacrifice some men to Scylla. To save the rest, This illustrates the harsh realities of leadership under pressure. Sometimes there are no good options, only less terrible ones. True leadership shines when making difficult, heartbreaking choices for the greater good. The final major stop before Calypso's island is Thrinacia, home of Helios's sacred cattle. Despite explicit warnings, Odysseus's starving men slaughter and eat some cattle. This sacrilege incurs Helios's wrath, and Zeus strikes their ship, killing all of Odysseus's remaining men. Odysseus, the sole survivor, clings to wreckage. This devastating event warns against disobedience, ignoring counsel and impulsive actions. It also highlights the heavy burden of leadership, where even clear instructions can be undone by others' actions. Utterly alone, Odysseus washes ashore on Ogygia, home of the nymph Calypso. She falls in love and holds him captive for 7 long years, offering immortality if he stays. Yet, Odysseus never forgets Ithaca, yearning for his mortal life. Penelope and Telemachus. This period on Calypso's island testifies to the human desire for freedom, authentic connection, and true home. Even eternal life cannot extinguish his yearning for what is real and meaningful. Fulfillment often lies not in eternal youth, but in the simple joys of family and purpose. Finally, with divine intervention, Calypso releases Odysseus. He builds a raft, but Poseidon raises a storm, destroying it. Near death, Odysseus is saved by the sea nymph Ino. He washes ashore on the land of the Phaeacians, exhausted. This final storm, just when he thought he was free, shows Odysseus's incredible resilience. No matter how many times he is knocked down, he gets back up. The path to our goals will involve setbacks. The key is to never give up, to keep fighting. On the Phaeacians island, Odysseus is discovered by Princess Nausicaa, who helps him. He recounts his tale to King Alcinous and Queen Arete, and the Phaeacians provide a ship to take him home. This part of the story underscores kindness, hospitality, and the power of sharing your story. Help comes from unexpected places, but we must be willing to ask for it and share our vulnerabilities. Finally, after 20 years, Odysseus arrives back in Ithaca, disguised as an old beggar. His palace is overrun by greedy suitors vying for Penelope's hand. Only his loyal dog Argos recognizes him before dying. This disguise and the subsequent suffering forces Odysseus to confront the decay of his kingdom and experience humility. To reclaim what is ours, we must sometimes humble ourselves, observe and understand the changed landscape. The climax is the battle in his hall. Penelope proposes an archery contest. String Odysseus's bow and shoot through 12 axe heads. Only Odysseus, disguised, performs the feat. With Telemachus and loyal servants and divine aid from Athena, Odysseus reveals his identity and slaughters the suitors. This act of vengeance and reclamation testifies that justice, though delayed, prevails. It emphasizes fighting for what is right, defending home and family, and the power of a determined spirit. It also speaks to the enduring loyalty of those who truly love us. Even after the suitors are dealt with, Penelope tests Odysseus. She asks her maid to move their bridal bed, which Odysseus knows is unmovable, built into an olive tree. This final test and Odysseus's unique knowledge finally convinces Penelope. Their reunion is one of the most tender moments in literature, a reward for their enduring love and fidelity. True love can withstand time, distance, and hardship. After all battles, the greatest victory is often found in the loving embrace of those who matter most. Odysseus's journey doesn't fully end, as Tiresias prophesied further travels. But his homecoming, the central theme, is complete. What lessons can we draw from this ancient epic? The Odyssey is a blueprint for resilience, a guide for navigating life's storms. It teaches us perseverance, ingenuity, the dangers of hubris, and the strength of love and loyalty. It reminds us that no matter how far we stray, the path home to our true selves and purpose is always there, if we have the courage to find it. Like Odysseus, we all have an Odyssey. May we face challenges with cunning, bravery, and unwavering hope. Thank you for joining me. Keep striving, keep exploring, and never give up on your own epic return home. See you next time.